Hey guys, so it is a cloudy, beautiful day today. I garden in zone 8A, Alabama, and I thought I would do a quick update on the Eden climbing rose. She is in full bloom, and I have so many more buds that are coming out. It's supposed to rain starting today for a couple of days, and I was afraid it might strip some of the rose flowers. So I'm going to do an update now and then combine it with the garden video. But this is Eden climbing rose, and there are two varieties that I'm aware of, this blush pink looking color, and then you can get a white one. I purchased this one last year, and it's been 1 year into the ground. The first year we put it in the ground, it didn't do anything other than grew, which I didn't expect much. I did get one blossom, and it was pure white, so I thought maybe I had gotten a wrong kind, but you can see on this one, it's almost all white as well. So you can never tell just one or two of the blooms. You gotta wait for the whole shebang. And this year, it actually slept through last year, produce all these beautiful canes that I trellis all the way up. And you can see at the very tip top, which is very hard to see, but she climbed really well. She probably grew about over 10 feet tall. This trellis is at least 10 feet tall, I believe, and she's about halfway through the trellis to get to the other side. So I went up there and basically just kept the canes long and grew them. And the main cane is what will send off the flowers. You can see this is the main cane. And then from the main cane, they have these little tiny nodes. And from that node grows all the flower. And once they are done blooming, what we'll do is we'll come back and we'll prune it back to probably the first 1 or 2 sets of nodes on these guys. And then it's going to flush, hopefully, another set of bloom. I do have a really long growing season, so I think I'm going to try to prune it back once it's done with its first flush, and then see if I can get a second flush, because sometimes we'll get blooms and flower all the way through until November. So my growing zone, I get probably a good 9 to 10 months out of the year, only the first 2 years, and it still can handle the frost. But look at this. Isn't she beautiful? She's a soft pink, soft pale pink color, and all these are growing beautifully. I definitely cannot complain. It is a very soft blush color. You hardly notice its pink center, but when you get a look at it, it's so beautiful and gorgeous. Now, there's very little fragrance to it. Because I garden in the south, we have an issue with black spots on majority of the roses. You can see here on this, they've developed. I did try to spray it, but regardless, it still comes. And basically with black spots, they make the leaves look ugly, and they defoliate the plant. So you can see here they turn color, and then from there and they just kind of fall off when the wind comes. The only bad thing about the black spot is it self-perpetuates. It keeps coming back. So there's really no way to get rid of it. I mean, I try to treat it before it flushed, but with fungicide, I think I used fungicide on them, but that didn't really help too much. And I didn't expect to. Growing roses, I've realized in the South, you're going to end up with black spots. So either you just let it be and take the good with the bad, or you just stop growing the roses altogether if you can't handle that. But how can you not with how beautiful these roses are? Look at that. And she keeps on climbing. Now, the only bad thing is I'm so short, I can only enjoy the lower portion of the roses. And even down here, like this is at the bottom, she's so prolific. She sends off flowers everywhere. And you can take them, you can cut them, and make little bouquets for them in your garden. Look at this one. It has more of a pink hue around its edges. So you can come in and just, cut off a couple if you want to, and put them in your house. Or you can just leave them and just enjoy them. Now, I did try to train them on this pole, and you see this one kind of stopped growing right here. But I would like to eventually climb it up this pole. Look how beautiful she is. She even comes on this side too, which is what I kind of wanted and expect her to do. With the main cane that you have climbing, she'll push flowers through. So it's not as prolific as it is on the other side, but you can still get some of the roses over here. And she's still tall, so you could see some of the branches the wind has blown over, so I need to retrain her to go this way. There's 3 branches up here, that's the main cane. This is the first one, she's tied down. And then there's a second and third one over here. I like to grow a little bit more. I want it to be as dense as this side over here. And then that way it just creates this big billowing climber. So this is first year in the ground. Now when you just newly planted it, of course it needs that first year to do root development. That's why they say first year in the ground, they sleep. Second year they're creeping, but this one, I mean, it creeped and it exploded. So this is 1 year after it's been in the ground. This is what Eden does. She's very vigorous, so make sure you have a good place and a good trellis to have her climb. These sticks are like as thick as my thumb. Look, here's my thumb, and this is the thickness of this guy. So make sure that your trellis can handle the size of the branches that comes off. Because you'll definitely want at least 3 or 4. I think over here I have at least 1, 2, 3, 4 main stems. Like I have 3 big main stem and then a couple more I'm trying to train up. Like this one is not as thick, and this is one of the stem. It's probably like a number 2 pencil size wise in comparison. And then these ones, like I said, are as thick as my thumb. So probably double, if not almost triple, a number 2 pencil. All these ones here, this one is sending up a new shoot, and I like for it to keep growing. You can see I like to have at least 2 or 3 more, keeping about 3 depending on the size of your trellis. I want to do 5 just to make it really full and billow out and more bushy. But look at how beautiful, you guys. Now, would I recommend this Eden Climber? Of course I do. I recommend all kinds of roses. I love roses, and I've never had the space to really grow them. With this Eden, because she's so vigorous, you definitely need a big space for her. Otherwise, you're keeping 1 or 2 stems, and that's not going to have the effect you would want. But you can see here, I'm going to try to pan out just so you can see a little bit better what it looks like. So we have this trellis over here that my husband built 2 years ago. Actually, a year ago. We built it, and then we put Eden Climber on it. So probably a year and a half. But eventually, see how it's going to come across. And then I like for it to grow on top. I like for it to train to come down and then grow back up, but I don't think it's going to do that, so I might have to put in another Eden on the other side. The only thing I have an issue with is that this arch that we built is not pressure treated. And we built this from our own lumber. We built this from our own lumber, and it's not treated at all. We cut down some pine, we then cut it and created our own. So I think it's probably going to last another year or two before it starts rotting out. In the south, it seems like everything that's wood will eventually rot out. So we're going to have to, and I don't know how I'm going to do this. I'm going to have to take it off the arch, create another arch, and then have it climb back up. But that's another project in itself. But I think definitely you're going to need at least two if you have this high, big archway. One on this side and one on this side, just to grow more flowering and have it be more bushy. We're creating another arch, I want to say over here. There will be an arch over here. And I plan on planting, I have another Eden in a pot. I haven't put her in the ground yet because I don't know where we're going to have to auger the holes for the post for the arch. So I have her in a pot, but I like to get her in the ground because they need at least, like I said, 1 year in the ground so they can root in. And then you have to slowly train the canes all the way up, and then the following year will flush out. But where we live, when I look out, see how I miss the Eden climber on this side, because you have to literally be standing on this side to see it. So that's part of why I wanted another arch the other way, because I'll be sitting on the front porch looking at like this way. So in order for me to see Eden, I need to create an arch like this and then have it climb up so I can enjoy it, rather than having to come over here every single time to enjoy Eden and look at her, because the arch is facing kind of the wrong way. So when you put in your arch, make sure that you go sit down where you want to sit and view your garden and view your roses, so that you center your arch that way. I mean, I come out here and I do my walks, so I enjoy my Eden over here. But I would have loved it if I could see her where I sit on the front porch. That would be beautiful as well. Just a little bit specks of Eden. Sorry, I'm rambling on and forget to give you guys the best part about her, which is her speck. So her flowering is white and pink. She's a climbing rose. She needs full sunlight. And of course you need to water her until she's established, which she is. Look at all these tiny buds down here. And it mature size 10 to 12 in height. Weird, it doesn't give me her zone. It's a reblooming, abundant blooms. So the thing about Eden, she's not just a hybrid tea. Most hybrid tea, they grow on a single stem, so that's where most of them get the cut roses. These guys, if you look at them, each stem, like this one, this bad one, it's not even blooming, but see how each stem has like 5, well, this one has 5 flowers on a stem. Oh, there goes. See how they just fall off from this black spot? They just like, in the wind, they just blow right off. So it defoliates the plant. Eventually all you have is just the flower, which is still not bad. The thing I've noticed, if you look on the rose petals, look, they are affected as well. So I'm not sure if it will affect the bloom. But look at that. I mean, you gotta grow them. Black spots or no, they are worthy to be in your garden. Look at that. I mean, you get a little bit of brownness around the side, I think. But for the most part, look at that. So there are some branches that only produce 1. But for the most part, most of them have at least 3, if not 5 flowers on them. So they are very vigorous and very reblooming. I agree with that. And I garden in zone 8A, so I know roses can tolerate frost and freeze weather. They'll just die back and then they'll push back out again. So at least down to zone 5. That Eden climbing tag for some reason doesn't have zone, and so I would say from 5 to 9 at least. But anything hotter than that, they may not be as prolific. In the summertime, I think my roses do lull, so I'm not sure what to expect from Eden since this is the first major flush I have. But I do expect it to kind of lull in the heat of summer and then push back out again once cooler weather comes. So it seems to do well. Early spring, we have about, right now it's about 80s and it gets down into the 60s at nighttime. So I expect really big flush now, which I have, and then once in the fall again. But she is just so beautiful. Now, if I could get them all to bloom all at the same time, but if you do that, you won't get to enjoy it for as long. So I think this is the perfect amount of blooms just to enjoy, and then they will slowly age while new blooms, like down here, you can see all these new blooms will continuously pushes out. And then I'll come in, once a branch is done blooming, I'll come in and cut it in hope of getting more flushes. So hopefully we'll just get repeating blooms all summer long. And as you know, they need nutrients to grow, so I will come in. I already fertilized it before it flushed out, and this is the first flush, so after this flush of blooms, I'll go in and fertilize it again. I mainly use chicken poop as fertilizer, but sometimes I will use plant tone to supplement if I run out of the chicken poop. I find chicken poop does well. The garden seems to love it. The plant seems to respond to it really well. And you can see here I am not lacking for blooms with the chicken poop fertilizer. Now, if you live in a small place in the city, you may not want to do that because chicken poop does stink really bad. And it does attract flies. So you got to set your fly traps up. Kind of reminds me of like a Victorian rose, like the era of the Victorians. So this is Eden Climber, an update. Thank you so much for watching, you guys, and I will see you in the next video. I hope you enjoy this video, and I hope that you find it helpful. Thank you, and I hope you have a great week. Goodbye, everyone.